Pretty good for a walk, a great chance to get out there and walk. And this time, why don't you walk for a cause? The American Cancer Society wants you to join them to raise awareness about breast cancer. And one person who is very aware of the disease is Kathy Hansen of Wrightstown, and she's here this morning to tell her story. Good morning, Kathy.
Good morning, Rachel.
How are you?
I'm feeling great, and I'm really excited to be here.
And dressed appropriately in the pink.
Yes.
We all recognize the pink these days. So let's talk about your story. Okay. When and how did you discover you had breast cancer?
It was in March of 2003, and I had gone in for just a routine screening mammogram. I'd been getting them every year, and they found something suspicious. I had a biopsy, and it turned out to be cancer.
All right, so first of all, that's just a reminder that everyone should do the routine mammogram screenings.
Yes.
They really do work.
Yeah, women should check with their doctors and see what kind of a schedule is appropriate for them, at what age they should start. But for me, it was a lifesaver.
What was it like going through breast cancer? What did you learn by going through it that you just had no idea what it was like?
I guess I didn't know that I was so resilient, that I could bounce back from something that awful and still, for the most part, be positive. Not all the time, but for the most part. Going through it, it's really hard to describe to somebody who hasn't been through it. It's incredibly difficult. The treatment is hard on the body and on the spirit, but you know you're doing what you need to do to get better. But it's also very scary because you're not sure what the result's going to be.
You mentioned you didn't know you would be so resilient against something like this. What else do you credit, or who do you credit for helping you get through this battle?
Well, the first person would be my husband, Kevin. I mean, he was just a rock. We went through everything together. He went to every appointment, every test, every therapy, everything. That was very wonderful. My friends and coworkers and my family were great, but I found it very valuable to reach out to other breast cancer survivors. I joined a support group, and that made a huge difference because that was the one place where there were people who really did understand what I was going through and could answer my questions and calm my fears.
You didn't have to explain so much because they understood already.
Exactly.
Understood already. Now, I know the cancer really changed your life physically, emotionally, spiritually, but even in your work, your whole life took a different direction. What happened?
It did. My husband was retiring in June of 2004, and I decided to end my teaching career at that time as well. And since then, I've gotten very involved in volunteer activities with the American Cancer Society and other groups. I'm a Reach to Recovery volunteer with the American Cancer Society. I meet with other women right after they're diagnosed and offer them information and support. And I've gotten involved in events like the Breast Cancer Awareness Walk, Relay for Life. Later this month, the American Cancer Society is having a big event in Madison called Light the Capital for Hope, and I'm going to be a delegate to that. So
all of a sudden, you're so busy with all these other all these other efforts to raise awareness for breast cancer. So your role this weekend begins with the Candlelight Vigil.
Yes, the Candlelight Vigil is at 7 o'clock on Friday night at Green Isle Park. I'm going to be one of the speakers, sharing my story and my experience with the people who are there. It's a very moving ceremony, and I really urge people to come to it.
It really is.
Yeah, and then on Saturday is the walk. It starts at 10 o'clock at Green Isle Park. There's a 2-mile walk and a 5-mile walk. There's also a run for people who are more inclined to run than walk. And people can still sign up to participate this week at the American Cancer Society office, or they can sign up that morning
Yeah,
to
that's
walk.
what I usually end up doing. I show up and I register that morning, and you're right, there's two different vibes going on. Friday night with the vigil, it's very inspirational, and then on Saturday with the walk, it's very uplifting, and all groups of women and families getting together.
Oh, yeah.
It's really great. Well, Kathy, thanks for sharing your story, and there will be many more stories to share over the weekend.
I think so.
Have a great weekend.
Well, thank you very much.
And good luck to you.
Thanks.